The connection between depression and nutrition, I don't think it's been discussed quite often. So let's break it down today. That's what we're going to do today. Welcome back to Holistic Heavy, you guys. It's your girl, Coach Mars. I hope everybody's having a good day. I've had a pretty good day today. I'm about to get my workout on, but I wanted to stop by and make a video for you guys and break down how to work through depression while you're on your fitness journey and how you can still have great nutrition and great eating habits even though you're going through it. I, speaking from experience, know it's super hard to do just about anything when you're depressed, right? It makes the smallest of tasks feel so enormous. And food, unfortunately, becomes the last priority on our list, right? Whether that's ordering takeout all the time or not eating at all or whatever it is for you. For me, it was not eating at all. But I know how you're feeling. I understand how difficult it can be to work through those things by yourself and still try to be healthy and still try to move when you have no energy and all these things. So I want to break that down today. I'm going to give you some practical tips to help you work through this time in your life so that you can stay as healthy as you can. So if you are new to the channel, welcome. It's your girl, Coach Mars. Like I said, give me a follow, give me a subscribe if you're liking today's content. Also, for all my Fit fam who's been here before, definitely let me know that you are here. You guys know I love talking to you. So today I want to start by breaking down some common ways that depression can negatively affect your nutrition, your eating. The simplest one, of course, is lack of motivation and low energy, right? When we're depressed, at least for me personally, it is harder to think about and process what I'm going to eat. It's hard for me to make those decisions. I get really indecisive and I get a lot of decision fatigue, and it just becomes harder for me to follow through with the habit of prepping and eating my meals. So I definitely think that that is something that's common when it comes to nutrition on your fitness journey. If you're depressed, low energy, and lack of motivation or lack of willingness to cook or to eat or to prep or to go grocery shopping or any of those things becomes 10 times harder. So that's definitely number one. Second common symptom of depression on your fitness journey is going to be a mental one. It's a hopeless outlook on life. When you have been in a depressed emotional state for an extended period of time, your outlook on life gets a lot more negative, right? A lot darker, a lot less hopeful, a lot less optimistic, a lot less driven, all those things. As somebody who struggles with bipolar, I experience this on a frequent basis. So my emotions fluctuate and go up and down. And depending on what I'm going through in life will determine how long those periods are for me. Of course, my hormones and stuff are doing some things as well. But for the most part, when I'm in those spaces, I can tell that I'm in a depressive dip when my outlook on life gets real dim. When I stop giving fucks, when I stop caring about my health, and when I stop caring about other people, and when I start focusing on negative, ruminating, annoying thoughts, that's when I know I need a dip. We need some rest. We need to do some self-care, right? So that's number two. If you are somebody who's experiencing some depression, right, you will come out of this someday. This is not something that will be your life forever. But because we live in a dualistic world, you can use this hopeless outlook on life as a signpost or as an alarm of where you're at mentally and emotionally. Later, we're going to talk about some tools to work through your depression, but just make sure that you start noticing these things and attach to them a little bit less, right? Yes, we may have a hopeless outlook on life right now. I am not just this one outlook on life. I know that when things get better or when I feel better, my outlook on life will probably be better, right? So I'm not going to attach to these thoughts that say life is hopeless and meaningless and all these things, right? That was life-changing for me when I learned to do that. But moving on. Symptom number 3 is an altered appetite. And this is the one that we're going to be playing with the most when it comes to practical tips, because I have struggled with a fluctuating appetite for years. And losing weight or gaining weight is hard when you can't get a consistent appetite. So this is another thing that you can use as an alarm or a signpost. When you start noticing that you're eating less and less meals, when you start noticing that your appetite is kind of wishy-washy, right? You can't decide what you want to eat, and then you just give up and you go to McDonald's or whatever. That's a sign to you, I've got some serious decision fatigue. So I either am in a depressive state right now and I need to focus on self-care and healing and all those things, or I need to find a way to regulate so I can get my appetite back, right? So that is definitely number 3. This is going to feed right into number 4. Craving comfort foods is something that you are going to experience when your hormones and when your neurotransmitters and all those things are going haywire, right? When you're lacking things like dopamine, and when you're lacking things like serotonin, and when you're a woman like me and your hormones are all over the place, right? It's kind of hard to cut those cravings out your mind, right? It's kind of hard to control or manage those, especially when eating chocolate will make you feel a little bit better, right? Eating that Taco Bell will make you feel a little bit better, right? But that's not aligned with the long-term goals that we have for ourselves, right? So we got to do something. But yeah, more comfort foods, more processed foods, more sugary, salty things is what also noticed in myself. When I start craving the French fries and I start craving the chips a little bit more, that means we're a little stressed, Mars. We need to do something about that. The final symptom or sign of depression comes to the physical realm. It's going to be dehydration. Okay, this isn't directly caused by depression, but usually for me personally, when I'm depressed, like I said, it's harder for me to do a bunch of things. And drinking water is one of those things, right? I'm not thinking about it altogether, or I'm thinking about it and I don't want it. Yeah, I either want, or I want tea or some juice or milkshake or something to make me feel better, right? Doing that on a consistent basis dehydrates your body over time, right? Especially if you're not drinking things that have the minerals and stuff that you need. So you are consistently getting dehydrated. Just kind of yourself and be like, is this a sign? Haven't we been focusing on water? Is it just completely out of our brain? Or do we not have an interest in drinking water right now? Both are issues we need to work through, right? So now I'm going to give you some strategies that you can use and that you can try to improve your diet or your nutrition while you're working through this depression, okay? I'm a firm believer that your health should be holistic, right? All of your realms of health are linked. So some of the tips that I'm giving you are, yes, going to be about your eating and about what foods to eat and those types of things, but it's also just going to be about tuning into yourself and taking care of yourself mentally and emotionally, making sure that you are good, okay? Whatever way you can that day, all right? So tip number 1, adjust your eating frequency, okay? A lot of us like to eat 3 meals a day, right? But when you're in a space where you have no motivation, no drive to cook and to do all the things, right? We need to adjust our expectations when it comes to how many times we're eating in a day, right? So when I'm in low spaces, what I do is go from eating 4 meals a day, 4 or 5 meals a day, to 2 meals a day, okay? What I do is I kind of lump those calories together so that I can still get the nutrients that I need, right? Still get the calories that I need for the day, but I'm not pressuring myself, okay, it's hours you got to eat. All right, it's dinner time. It's time to eat, right? Like, I don't have to do that. I can just go, okay, just need you to eat 2 meals by the end of the day. That's it, okay? You want to eat breakfast at 11 a.m. or 8 a.m. It doesn't matter. As long as we get in 2 meals today, that's a win, okay? Adjust your meal frequency, okay? You know that you are struggling with appetite or with motivation to do the things to put the food in your mouth. Make sure you're adjusting your expectations so you don't feel that internal pressure, okay? Number 2 is choose nutrient-dense foods, okay? I know those of you who are on your health journey, you're probably already eating somewhat healthy, right? Good for you, by the way. When it comes to, and I would say, my ladies, you do this on your period as well, because I do this and my week because I have endometriosis, but I treat my illnesses and my mental illnesses the same, right? Both require rest and recovery. So when I'm in those spaces, I know that me eating less and me having less energy and less drive to do things is going to mess up my routine. Let's say that. You know, calories I'm intaking, how many meals I'm getting in a day, all that's going to change, right? So basically, I'm going to prioritize the foods that are going to give me the most bang for my buck, right? I'm going to prioritize protein, first of all. If you haven't been doing that already, start doing that. Prioritize protein as the first thing you're thinking about when you're constructing a meal, right? The second thing I'm going to do is think about what is the richest carbohydrate that I can add to this meal, okay? Usually a vegetable, okay? Not just thinking about calories, I'm thinking about minerals, and I'm thinking about that stuff as well, okay? Usually I will try to eat something that I know is dense, even, acid, or something that's going to help me and my hormones those times. So make sure you are being real intentional when you're constructing your meals, okay? There are some foods that you can out that are very nutrient dense, will give you a place to start, okay? Number 3. Is this tip number 3? I think this is tip number 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. But tip number 3 is going to be limit your processed foods. And I know this is going to be a tough one, okay? We're not trying to be perfectionists out here, but you do want to be aware that when we're in a depressive state, we're more likely to give in to cravings, right? More of those above the neck cravings. So make sure that you are limiting your processed food intake. Set those boundaries with yourself, okay? It's perfectly okay to have a cookie or an Oreo or whatever every now and then, right? But when we get to a point where we're trying to regulate how we feel with food, that's when we know we've crossed the line, right? So if you can set boundaries with yourself around your processed food intake, it's going to be a lot easier, one, to maintain your for the healthy foods that we're trying to instill right now, but also, two, it's going to help with your energy levels. It's going to help with getting rest. It's going to help with all those things because you're not putting a whole bunch of junk into your body, okay? Number 4, and this one that I personally have done, and it has been life-changing. Delegate your tasks, okay? You have people in your life that care about you. They should want to support you in you achieving your most optimum health, right? Your most optimum level of fitness, if you will. So let's say you have a partner or a boyfriend, a girlfriend, right? A husband, a wife. You can ask them to help you with meal prep or grocery shopping or with plates for dinner, whatever it is for you that you feel like is so insurmountably hard right now. Ask for help, okay? Trust me, I know when you're in low spaces like this, it's hard to even communicate sometimes. But do the best you can with noticing where you're at and then doing something about it, right? The more you can be objective with where you're at and the more you can build tools and systems for where you're at, the easier it's going to be to get through it and get out of it. So ask the people in your life for help. Ask them to get groceries for you or get a grocery delivery service, right? We live in a beautiful time. You can literally pay somebody to do just about anything. So if you have those resources, ask somebody to do those things for you, okay? Ask somebody to cook the meals for you. Ask somebody to prep the meals for you and put them in containers so that you can just stick them in the microwave and heat it up, right? Whatever it is that you need, make sure that you're advocating for yourself to get those things done, okay? Being low, being in a funky mood, being depressed, being all those things is not an excuse to not get it done, especially when you have a support system, okay? As somebody who struggles with bipolar, if I can do it, you can do it. I promise. My final tip to you, tip number 5, is going to be about starting small and taking baby steps, okay? If you are working towards a specific goal right now while you're in the midst of this depression, okay, you can still move forward. Yes, you can still make progress, okay? You can still make healthy decisions, even though it's hard, okay? The key to this is adjusting your mindset and adjusting your expectations, okay? We expect ourselves to work out for 45 minutes to an hour at the gym 4 or 5 times a week. Maybe we need to dial that back a little bit, right? Maybe we need to work out at home for 30 minutes 2 to 3 times this week and then walk the other days or something like that, right? These are just examples. But I'm saying when you are in a space like this, trying to show up at the caliber that you normally would when your mental and emotional levels are a lot higher is unfair to you. It's a disservice to you, okay? It's only going to perpetuate negative thoughts about yourself, like I can't do this, and oh my God, I'm gonna gain the weight back, and I knew I was a failure, and all these things that are not true. Okay, make sure that you are taking small steps. Okay, smallest of steps you can think of. Okay, the things that feel manageable to do, right? Like for me personally, just getting up and walking around my house and counting my steps on my Apple Watch is my work for the day, is my movement for the day, because I could not bring it upon myself to go outside and go for a walk. I couldn't bring myself to do a workout because I was just too low. So showing up for myself not only helps me still make progress and still move forward, but it's also an emotional support thing. I am showing myself like, hey, it's going to be okay. I got you. We can adjust. You don't have to be perfect. I love you the way you are now. We're going to get through this together, right? That's my higher version talking to me. So start small. Be adaptable with your expectations around your performance in the gym and in the kitchen, okay? Hope these tips were helpful, you guys. If you're working through depression right now, know that Coach Mars feels your pain. Know that I have struggled with this for most of my life. Only been recently diagnosed about 3 or 4 years ago. So this is something I've had to master on my own. And these tools that I'm giving you may sound simple, but I promise you they are significant, okay? You adopt these things and you focus on setting boundaries with those processed foods, and you get those lists of foods that you can't eat that are nutrient dense, and you focus on those, and you stay hydrated, and you start small, and you delegate your tasks, and you ask for help, and you do all of those things. I promise you, you'll look up one day and be like, wow, oh, I feel so much better. It didn't last forever. And I know those things sounds like a lot to focus on, which is why I said start small, okay? This video and listen to it again if you have to, and just pick one thing, just one, that you feel like is digestible for you right now, and do that, okay? I promise you, if you don't give up and you do that small step every day, you're gonna get somewhere, okay? If you guys have any more questions, any other fitness world that you want a video on, definitely drop it down there in the comments below, and make sure you are subscribed so that you can get all the notifications for the videos to come. Okay, if you are in a space where you need some emotional support, you need some mental support, you need somebody to talk to about the space that you're in right now, you know where to find me. Okay, you got your back. So be afraid to shoot me a message, and we can literally talk about whatever you want. It doesn't have to be fitness. It can be about literally anything. Want to make sure that you guys know that I'm here for you, regardless of whether we're talking about workouts or we're talking about the bullshit going on in your head. Okay, all of it is connected. And I want you guys to be as healthy as you can be, okay? Your Coach Mars is out. I will see you guys next time.